I was at a record shop about 2, 3 years ago in Denmark. Real hardcore metal scene there. Let me tell you, no hair metal, none of that stuff, no new metal. By the way, guys, thanks for watching Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com. If you liked the video, smash that like button. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, and leave a comment down below. And I got to tell you, I think the softest thing they had in that record store was Deicide. No offense, Glenn. I love you, brother, but I mean, they had some hard stuff in there. I mean, they had the original Emperor debut, okay, original press. This is, I mean, like, that's worth a lot of money, folks. They had Lords of Chaos. What's the movie? What's the movie house that made Lords? Well, they've got like original handbills. I mean, they had like all sorts of stuff. And I don't even think Lords of Chaos had come out when I was there, but it was already like everybody knew what was working, what was happening, what was cooking in the kitchen. But I got to tell you, they have one of Mortis. Now Mortis is kind of like a techno person, but he was the bass player in Emperor for a while, so that's why a lot of people like Mortis, even though he's not metal. He's kind of like experimental electronic stuff, but definitely has a hand in metal. And so they had one of his original outfits, which he, I think, dresses up as an elf or a dwarf. I'm not sure what he's supposed to be, like a gnome, something like that. I didn't mean to say dwarf, gnome or elf or something. I'm not sure what he is. It's just weird. It's not really my style of music, but yeah. But they have that, and then they have what else did they have? And they had some thrash metal stuff from the '80s, and thrash metal. We could sit here and talk about how thrash metal and black metal and death metal, but I think musically there's an argument. I don't think that any of the genres came out of the other, but I think a lot of like, black metal, death metal, heavy metal people would appreciate, what those guys did, just because it was fast, it was raw, it was breaking all the rules. So, I mean, but I think, well, let's just stop there because I don't want to get into this whole thing. But basically what I want to say, though, they had a really good thrash metal scene. And, they had, obviously, Testament, Metallica, Megadeth, the big four. They had Anthrax. They had Slayer. They had, and I would consider Slayer to be thrash over death metal. And we could argue that point as well. But basically, they didn't have Death Angel, the kings of thrash metal. Part of the second wave, yes, but what Death Angel did for thrash is, like, for example, rock music, we all know, came from black music, from jazz, from rhythm and blues. It was stolen, tweaked, and then branded as something new. Okay? So basically, how could I put this? Elvis, the Big Bopper, Richie Valens, they're the fathers of rock and roll as we know it, basically. It's stolen music that was altered, rebranded as rock and roll. They're the founders of it. They're the and then, you look at like the Beatles, what the Beatles did for rock and roll, what Led Zeppelin did for rock. So basically, there was a wave before the second wave that laid the foundations, okay? But then you look at a band like Van Halen. Van Halen totally revolutionized everything that we knew about rock music, that kind of rock music, okay? Van Halen was innovative. Eddie Van Halen was a guitar god. David Lee Roth, entertainment god, okay? Great voice, but come on, the things that guy was doing on stage. So Van Halen just totally turned it around. They just, it was and Aerosmith as well. So I would say that Death Angel is to thrash metal what Van Halen and Aerosmith were to hard rock. What Death Angel did is nothing short of that great. You know what I mean? And the reason that we're even listening to thrash metal today in a big part is because of Death Angel. So when they didn't have that there and they claimed to have a thrash section, I was like, what? You don't have Death Angel here?